How's it going, you guys? So in this video I want to talk a little bit about Jeff Cavaliere from Athlean-X, and he got exposed for using fake weights. So first of all, yes, he has been exposed for using fake weights. I had suspected that the weights in those videos were fake from the day that I saw them. Absolutely, I felt like there was something fishy when I saw, he's like in his 40s. He's been maintaining about 5 to 8% body. I think it's 5 to 7% body fat year round. Claims to be natural. He's highly respected and regarded as being natural. And despite being in a caloric deficit year round, he pushes caloric deficits year round. He's got extremely low percentage of body fat, and his weight training advice has always been garbage. It's always been trash. There's no way somebody in a caloric deficit that stays lean year round is going to be able to deadlift, close to 500 pounds for reps when his training is jack shit. Like, his training is horrible. It's not conducive to hypertrophy. It's not conducive to strength. And, it just didn't make sense. And mind you, 500 pounds for a guy who's in his 40s, even at 185 pounds, that's really not that impressive anyway, to be honest. I mean, compared to the average gym lifter, sure. But 500 pounds is really not as impressive, even for 5 reps, as most people think. And I think that's because most people don't hang around powerlifting gyms and sports performance centers like I have for the last 8 years. So most people, they don't have anything legit to compare these things to. But for me, it's pretty normal to see guys Jeff's age, at 185 pounds deadlifting 500 pounds. But the fact is, he maintains such a low percentage of body fat year round. His nutrition strategies are not conducive to strength or athletic performance, and his training strategies, if he follows the same workouts that he recommends to his followers, there's no way that he'll be able to build strength for something like a deadlift, maintaining caloric deficit year round, to be able to lift that type of weight. So I mean, I just think it's funny. I knew something was kind of fishy right away. I've never really been a fan of Athlean-X. I have watched quite a bit of his content during certain periods of my life. Never really implemented much of the things he showed. Most of the workouts that Jeff Cavaliere recommends are gimmick workouts. He overcomplicates things on his YouTube channel, and to try to create new content that you haven't seen before, because recommending effective workouts is very boring. If you look at his back routines, all this complicated nonsense, all you really need is some rows, some lat pull downs, and a generic pull-up variation, and you have a pretty effective back workout right there. And if you focus on progressive overload, lifting a little bit more weight, or lifting the same weight for a little bit more reps, or adding a little bit more sets over time, if you get a little bit stronger on each lift over time, especially adding more volume with basic movements hitting the main muscle groups, you will gain size, and if you have a decent diet, you'll also lose body fat at the same time. And you probably can't tell from looking at this video, but I am 185 pounds and I'm around 10, maybe 12% body fat. But for me, I'm a martial artist. I do jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai, and I have been for years. And I do powerlifting and Olympic lifting and some conditioning to supplement my training. I'm an actual athlete, and I've actually trained other athletes, trained MMA fighters, and of course, helped other people lose body fat and gain muscle at the same time, just average people as well. So I've been an athletic coach, I am an athlete, and I train regular people for body composition. And my body composition is pretty alright if you look at some of my pictures on my Instagram. Obviously, I'm not as shredded and ripped as Jeff Cavaliere, but I know how to gain size on basic muscle groups. If you look at my back is pretty ripped. It's pretty big, and there's plenty of other people who've made responses to Athlean-X talking about their physique and how ripped they are, and how you could basically build muscle without all the gimmick exercises that Athlean-X talks about. I think the best response video I've seen so far, Chris Jones from Physiques of Greatness, and maybe Eric Bugenhagen, his response was okay. But yeah, so fake weights, it's deceptive. He said that he specifically said that he was deadlifting 500 pounds per reps, when in reality he was probably deadlifting more like 225, 315. So he lied about how strong he is. He's done the same thing with his bench press. He said he was benching 315, and he had fake weights on the bar. And so, he was lying, straight up lying about how strong he was. And he's so ripped. And the other thing is, if you see him in person, he's probably going to look a lot smaller than how he looks in his videos. The videos make, bigger people look fatter, and more ripped people look bigger a lot of the time. But regardless, though, it's very possible that he has been taking, testosterone replacement therapy or something like that. And if he has been, obviously that would make a lot more sense on his year-round leanness, which is just it's so stressful on the body and very unhealthy to maintain the amount of leanness that Jeff Cavaliere has year-round. That's very unhealthy. Anyway, his workouts are just completely there's complete nonsense. I've seen shoulder workouts where he does this weird cable rotation thing. I've seen where he on his back workouts, he tries to do single leg glute raises at the same time as a row for no real reason other than to make you feel like his workouts are unique. That's literally all. Yeah, so his workouts are trash. He doesn't really focus on progressive overload. And he's lying about the fake weights. It's possible he's on TRT, but we don't really know and don't have much evidence to base that on. And what else? There was something else that I was going to bring up in this whole conversation. Well, I'll tell you this. If your goal is athletic performance, you don't want to be following his workouts. I'll tell you that 100%. Most of his workouts they're not for athletes. That, maybe they're I don't know, more complicated, and so it'll give you a mental workout or something. But you don't need to do fancy ab variations and crazy ab circuits and ab workouts. You don't need to do all these weird plank variations and weird type of sit-ups and things. For your abs, all you really need to do is one effective basic exercise, hit the obliques, one hit the transverse abdominis, one hit the lower abs, one hit the upper abs. You can get away with oblique crunches, a weighted sit-up variation, a weighted crunch variation, a reverse crunch or a hanging leg raise, and you've got a pretty holistic, full-on ab workout. And as long as you keep adding weight, you actually, you train your abs the same way you train other body parts. There's literally no reason to do these crazy ass gimmick workouts that he recommends. But anyway, yeah, I've been on to him for a long time. As a strength coach, I don't think it's wise to hire him. And if you look at most of the athletes that he features on his channel, they're all steroiders. So number one, yeah, like, you know, maybe guilty by association. I don't really know. But I'll tell you this, with this whole fake weight thing, that's not acceptable for somebody who's selling training programs. Also, he does sell supplements, but doesn't push them as like vigorously as other people. But I can tell you, you don't need the supplements, and I don't think that they're very, I think they're overpriced, and I don't think you really need them. A whey protein's okay if you don't really eat enough meat. BCAAs is pointless. A pre-workout's okay, but you can easily you buy caffeine pills. You buy 200 caffeine pills for like $6. So I mean, you know, yeah. Anyway, I don't think I really need to say much more. My opinion, like, his workout advice was never very effective. He has a master's degree in physical therapy or what have you, but like, really, there's so many people out there with credentials that are just like, they're trying to sell you a product. They have to create something new, something fresh, something unique to stand out from the crowd. Otherwise, they're not going to be making much money, because like, why would you watch Jeff Cavaliere if he's just telling you, hey, for your back, do heavy rows, when all the other fitness YouTubers would be saying the same thing? Like, the fact is, you wouldn't really need to watch anyone unique. That's why they have to make up all these crazy workouts, like a combination of a single leg glute raise with a single leg lat pull down or something. Like, it's ridiculous. And so many people just believe that, like, there's something special to it that makes it effective, but it's just not. There's no way in hell that Jeff Cavaliere would be building strength with those types of workouts, and no one following those types of routines would really make decent progress either. I think the same can be said about a lot of other people who do ineffective workouts, and then they got these crazy ripped physiques. So, yeah, you're gonna have to fake weights in order to appear strong with workouts like that, I'll tell you that much. Whatever. Alright, so leave your question, comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Love to hear someone, I'd love to hear all the people try to defend Jeff Cavaliere in this one.